All right. Our first power rankings for the Dynasty Nubs, Dynasty Noobs, whatever you want to call it. Dynasty Fantasy Football League. I'm, of course, as you see down below, Eric, the commissionaire extraordinaire. And I did say that right. It's exactly how I meant to say that. So we're going to do a quick power rankings. I didn't really put much thought into this. I definitely hope it hurts everybody's feelings. That would be fantastic and kind of the point of this whole thing. Let's get it started at number 12. No surprise here. Baby Billy's Disciples, number one Cowboys fan in the league, even more of a Cowboys fan than me. He's got at least 12 to 15 custom. I think that's what the name means, custom Cowboys hats. So that's pretty cool. So I'm basically just going to look at these teams real quick on my little handy dandy phone here. Dak Prescott, Davis Mills, not a super great super flex combination. We got Baker Mayfield. I'm not convinced he's a good quarterback at all, to be quite honest. The bench, you have Alvin Kamara on the bench right now, but obviously he's going to be a starter for you. Adam Thielen is okay. The Beasles, he's all right. Not a great group of IDPs, and as we know in this league, IDP scoring is out of this freaking world, and it means a lot. The running backs, besides Alvin Kamara, nothing. I don't like the wide receivers. Rashad Bateman, Laviska Shenault, Zay Jones have shown me nothing so far. Obviously, we got Terry McLaurin there. That's fine. Travis Kelsey, that's good. That's great, actually. But everything else just really leaves a lot to be desired. So I'm not. Oh yeah, I should have said this in the beginning. I'm not considering picks right here. This is just power rankings for who I think is going to win the championship this year. If it was to do with picks, who set themselves up really great, you would be much higher on this list. But I'm not going to give you the satisfaction, so you're not there. Number 11, Trash Cam the dipshit, as he is known, pretty much everywhere. Got Justin Herbert. That's really what pushed him over. Well, there's a couple things that pushed him over. Cowboy, what's your name? Cowboy Customs. There we go. I wish I knew y'all's real names. It'd make this a lot easier. Justin Herbert, Miles Sanders, Kareem Hunt. I like all three of those quite a bit. Tyler Lockett with Drew Lock is not great. That is not a lock to be very good. Uh, Trevor Lawrence with Justin Herbert. I still honestly believe in Trevor Lawrence. He was picked number one overall. He was touted high as hell for a freaking reason. So I still have faith in him. Not a great group of IDPs, a little old, long in the tooth, if you will, and literally nothing of relevance on the bench at all whatsoever. So that and really no picks. So that's not great either. But like I said, we're not really talking about picks. Number 10, as his perennial spot on all of my power rankings, that's Russell Wilson, Jay the Untrusting. You know why you're called that. You know why. I try and give him all these amazing trades, and he doesn't trust me, and I just don't get it. I don't get it at all. Russell Wilson. So this is a super flex league, so I'm going to start out with the quarterbacks first because I think that's really what matters the most. Russell Wilson, Matt Ryan, Cam Newton. Who knows what the hell's going to happen with him? The bench. I kind of like Ty Johnson a little bit. I think he's kind of the J.D. McKissick to Michael Carter's Antonio Gibson. Tyler Boyd on the bench, I like that. Brandon Cooks, I really like, especially. Well, I don't think Deshaun Watson's going to play for Houston ever again. But if he somehow they reconcile and become okay with everything, then Brandon Cooks, freaking top 12 receiver. I'm calling that shit. Really good group of IDPs. Jay prioritized those in the draft. I do remember that. But CEH, I think, is a Jag. Just imagine the Chiefs could have had, I don't know, DeAndre Swift, Jonathan Taylor, J.K. Dobbins. Nope, they listened to their dipshit quarterback, who obviously has bad taste in who he keeps around because he keeps his dipshit brother and his dumbass wife, fiance, whatever, around. DK Metcalf, his stock has really went down with Russell leaving, so you don't have that stack anymore. But I love Josh Jacobs. I'm a big fan of Jacoby Myers. Hashtag selfish because he's on my other team. But yeah, other than that, I'm not in love with this team. The bench is okay. Justin Jackson, he should be like the one. I mean, he'll be the two, I guess, in Los Angeles behind Austin Eckler. But other than, I mean, you got Hawk on the bench or Hawk in IR. I'm a huge fan of T.J. Hawkinson. All right, God damn it, I keep hitting this mouse, but it's not to my computer. Number 9, Testicle Monster, the most handsome man in the league, obviously. My team here, Jalen Hurts. I got Tyler Huntley in the thing right now. Deshaun Watson is probably going to play for someone. I don't know. We'll see if he ends up on the commissioner's exempt list. He won't be on my exempt list. So um, that is kind of whatever. I have an amazing group of IDPs, probably the best in the league. Probably, I mean, definitely. I like my team okay. I think it's going to take a lot of lucky breaks and stuff for me to really make the playoffs this year. But I feel like pretty well set for the future. But for this year, I'm not digging my team too much. Someone trade me a motherfucking first rounder for Mike Evans. He's freaking awesome. 1,000 yards every single year. He's had 13 touchdowns before. Don't worry about who's throwing the ball. Just trade. Just trade. Just trade him. Trade me for him. Yeah, there we go. Number 8. Ooh, Dynasty Nubs champion Brandon the Magnanimous. And that was an ironic nickname here because he has not been magnanimous. He has been a very poor winner, especially when it all came from luck. Not Andrew Luck, I mean just straight up luck, because Jamar Chase lost his ever loving mind and went off. So that's the only reason you're the champion, but that's a debate for a different day. Matt Stafford, Jared Goff, Daniel Jones, Teddy Bridgewater, Mitch Trubisky. That's really why I ranked you down this low. Obviously, man, you've got a pretty decent team. Jamar Chase is great. Devontae Smith, I think, I think he's going to be much better in the future. Nick Chubb is the dude. Devin Singletary is kind of the linchpin to see, like, is he going to do what he did like the last 3-4 weeks of the season? Is he going to be like the main guy in Buffalo? If it's up to Tran, they're going to trade for, Leonard Fournette. They'll trade for Melvin Gordon. They'll trade for Frank Gore. They'll trade for probably Adrian Peterson as well. So, yeah, he'll be number 6 in that rotation or something. Michael Gallup looks like he's going to get the bag this offseason, so I like that. He'll probably be the number 2 maybe for Dallas. James Robinson is tore his Achilles, so he is, to me, done in fantasy. A decent group of IDPs. You can't count on how many ever damn interceptions. Let's see here. How many INTs did Trayvon Diggs had 11 INTs. That's not going to happen ever again in his career, in my opinion. The bench, not a great bench whatsoever. Chris Carson's had neck issues. They don't have Russell Wilson there anymore, so that offense isn't going to move the ball as well as they used to. So you won't get as many scoring opportunities. Amon-Ra St. Brown. I like him too. He's okay. I think he was a product of everybody being out in Detroit, and that's why he got so many targets. I would bet money they're going to bring in a free agent and draft someone in the wide receiver room. So, decent team. I don't think you'll make the playoffs. Honest to God. Sorry, not sorry. Number 7, Ted Lasso's That's hard to say. Ted Lasso's Biscuits, Jeff, and his Christian name, or the name his mother gave him was Clint, but now he's known as Jeff. So do with that information what you will. But Joe Burrow, Kyler Murray, holy shit. I am of the opinion that Kyler Murray's not going anywhere. He's posturing for an extension. 2 years early, or I guess essentially a year early, but I don't think he's going anywhere. Najee Harris is amazing. And after that, my friend, your running back room. Okay, never mind. You got Antonio Gibson. I don't know why the hell he's on the bench, but yeah, Najee Harris, Antonio Gibson. That's a hell of a duo at running back. I do think you have pretty good wide receiver depth. However, I'm not sure that none of these wide receivers are number ones, and that doesn't bode well in my opinion. Mike Gesicki being your main tight end. Let me scroll through here real quick. Yeah, him being your main tight end, I don't know how much he's going to get used in Mike McDaniel's offense. They really want a tight end that can block. Obviously, they franchised him, so maybe they signed him to a long-term deal. Maybe he learns how to block all of a sudden. I kind of doubt it in like his fourth year or whatever it's going to be, fourth or fifth year. But yeah, Christian Kirk, Michael Pittman, Mike Williams, Cortland Sutton, Sanders is. I don't know if he gets signed to a team. Emmanuel Sanders, that is. So you got a bunch of number 2 wide receivers, actually really good running backs, really good quarterbacks. Got a pretty good group of IDPs as well. Actually, a really good group of IDPs. I like that. Leonard Fournette could work out for you, but yeah, I think this team's just like straight up in the middle for me. I guess that's why I ranked them number 7. Moving on. I for you up. I think it's pronounced faux Tran. So, Tran the pervert. And he he knows why his name is that. If he feels to like elaborating. Actually, you could just watch the last episode of Fantasy Friends where his friend, I think they had it was like I think it was called the Spring Swingers ski getaway, something like that. But yeah, people were just banging in the background while he was trying to do a podcast. It was not professional. Uh, Good position players: Derrick Henry, David Montgomery, Keenan Allen, Debo Samuel, DJ Moore, who actually I think sucks, but no, I don't think he sucks. I think he's just not as good as everybody thinks he is. Mark Andrews, Dalton Schultz, Aaron Jones, and Michael Thomas, dude. Your position players are phenomenal. Maybe that's why you named your team that. Pretty decent IDPs, but your quarterbacks: Ryan Tannehill, Jarrett McKinnon is starting to enter the quarterback spot. That's cool, I guess. Jimmy G, who the fuck knows what's going to happen with him? But I mean, this team is you obviously sold out to try and win last year and this year. It didn't work out last year. Maybe it will this year, but I don't see a lot of depth on the bench. I do still like Sterling Shepard. I think he's perennially underrated. But the rest of the bench is not great at all. Yeah, so I mean, your position players besides quarterback really, really, really good, and they could carry you because our quarterback are like passing settings are so jacked up in this league. Maybe they do carry you. Maybe you're a little too low, but this is where I got you ranked for now. You pervert. Number 5, Spike Protein. I don't know what that means. Um, and Swoop the Illiterate because that's another O and not a 0. It's supposed to be. But I don't know, man. I don't know where you went to school. Maybe it wasn't a great place, and I don't want to blame you for your environment in which you grew up. But number 5 here, Aaron Rodgers and nothing at quarterback 2, Mike White, Taysom Hill, Ryan Fitzpatrick. That is doo-doo balls. Doo-doo balls. But you do have Aaron Rodgers, who is the reigning 2-time in a row MVP. Dalvin Cook, Cordero Patterson is never going to produce like he did last year. I think that was a very much a one-off. But Deontay Johnson, Jalen Waddle, Darren Waller, man, I love all 3 of those guys a lot. And your IDPs are incredible. Micah Parsons, Eric Kendricks, Nick Bosa, Logan Wilson, who had an absolutely career year last year, JOK, Owusu Koromora, I think is how you pronounce that. I'm not sure. Jamal Adams, worst trade in the history of one of the worst trades in the history of the league. Ain't I right, Jay? But after that, I mean, the bench. You actually got DeAndre Hopkins on the bench, Rondell Moore, we're thinking Christian Kirk's gone and AJ Green is gone, so maybe Rondell Moore develops into that wide receiver too. I don't think so personally. I think he's more of a gadget guy, but I do like your team. I actually really like this team a lot, and it's not necessarily. I think Tran has a better like offensive player teams, but I think your IDPs make up for it. So that's why. And his best quarterback's Ryan Tannehill. Yours is Aaron Rodgers, who just got locked up. $153 million guaranteed. Jesus Christ. Why was I not 6'4" with a cannon arm? I don't know. I got the brain for it, obviously. and I'm working on the mustache for it. So there's that. Number 4, very surprising to me because I thought his team was going to suck balls. Big Chill Squad. He is a mediocre bass player. Everybody knows that. However, the rest of his band is great. Go check him out. The Lowdown Dirty. I believe they're playing a show in North Carolina next Saturday, the 19th. So please go check him out. And if you're in the area, just don't expect a lot of great bass playing from him. But the band is fucking, like, legitimately really, really good. Pat Mahomes, Tom Brady, Jason, he retired. So, but you did. I think you traded me. I traded you Kirk Cousins, so you could have kind of that backup there. I think Kirk Cousins is one of the most underrated. He's like the Tony Romo of this era. He's just underrated for fantasy. Probably not necessarily in real life football, but for fantasy, definitely. So I like your quarterbacks, Jonathan Taylor, Javonte Williams, arguably number 1 and number 2 in Dynasty running back rankings. Amari Cooper just fucked you real hard. I guess the Cowboys did, but I'm happy about that. Not really, because I didn't really want to lose Cooper, but he's now with the Cleveland Browns. He's going to see his volume. Dude, you know what? He might really produce similarly. Um, maybe 75% of what he's done the past few years in Dallas. Devontae Adams is obviously great. OBJ, who knows what happens with him tearing the same ACL. What he tore in 19 and then obviously in the Super Bowl. Melvin Gordon. So you got the whole Denver backfield locked up. I don't know why you would want to do that, but that's cool. Tyler Higbee is your tight end. You have pretty damn good. Yeah, you have really good IDPs. I think that's why I had you above Swoop. That's one of the reasons. But Mahomes, Jonathan Taylor, and Javonte Williams and Devontae Adams is just sexy AF. And then as far as the bench goes, Juju, I think, is going to make a bounce back wherever he goes. Um, yeah, and that's pretty much it. You might not should have been ranked this high, but you are. And I didn't put much thought into this, like I said. So there you go. Number 3, living on the Edgerin. Albin, the Russian sympathizer. It's because he was born in that part of the world. So everybody knows that Eastern Europeans love Russia. So he's obviously a Russian sympathizer, and he's probably on some watch lists. But I like you, Albin. I hope you don't get deported. I'm sorry. That's so fucked up. Okay. Sorry. It's got Josh Allen as his number 1 quarterback, who is the number 1 quarterback the past 2 seasons. First player to do that since like Aaron Rodgers in like 11 and 12 or something. I mean, Josh Allen has really matured into like a fucking stud. So Josh Allen, Cam Akers. Oh well, let's do quarterbacks. Zach Wilson's your other quarterback. Oh, that's scary. If I were you, you don't have any picks this year or barely any next year, so you probably need to solidify that QB too. But man, you're fucking wide receivers, dude. Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, Elijah Moore. How was that allowed to happen? You got Cam Akers, who I really believe in Cam Akers. Saquon Barkley, is he ever going to be like that top 3 running back that we saw in his rookie year? No, I don't think so. But top 20 easily. So if he's your running back 2 in a dynasty league, you're doing absolutely fine. Kyle Pitts at tight end, that's amazing. He's going to get fucking 300 targets this year with no Calvin Ridley. Russell Gage's a free agent. I mean, he's going to get a million targets. Your flexes, yeah, Gabe Davis, Darnell Mooney. I'm okay with those. Chase Edmonds, who the hell knows what's going to happen? If he's not in Arizona, I don't think he has any fantasy value, personally. Got a real good group of IDPs with 3 freaking Colts. Who could imagine that? But Darius Leonard, Patrick Queen. Anyways, Jalen Thompson. I think that's his name. Jalen. Yep, Jalen Thompson. So you've got a really good group of IDPs. And then Tony Jones, I like that you have hedged with him because who knows what will happen with Kamara. He's gotten way more volume than I thought he would get last year. And who knows if his body might break down. I don't know. Nico Collins, I think, is a star. I won't say a star in the making, but a solid wide receiver for fantasy, wide receiver 3 in the making. But yeah, bench, like most teams, not much to write home about. But you got Chase Young on IR. That ain't bad. That ain't bad at all. All right. Down to our last two. Of course, it's Cashmere. I don't know what that's from. Sorry. Fight Club, The Taciturn. If you don't know what Taciturn is, maybe read a fucking book. Let me find his team real quick. I really, really, really like this. The only reason this team isn't number one is because your quarterbacks suck ass. Freaking Mac Jones, Tua, Carson Wentz. The good thing is all three of them are starters. All three of them have room for improvement because they're not that great. Besides Tua, who's amazing, is going to throw for probably 45 touchdowns. Probably 45 touchdowns next year. The real ones know what that's about. All right, back to you. Zeke, I gotta scroll down to your bench. But anyways, so we got Zeke, Damian Harris, T. Higgins, Chase Claypool, Tyreek Hill, Noah Fant. That sucks that he got traded to Seattle. I don't think he's gonna be worth a shit anymore. But you do have Hunter Henry, who was an absolute touchdown machine. I believe he had, let's see here. He had nine. Yeah, he had 9 touchdowns last year. So they looked for him in the red zone like crazy. Got a a decent group of IDPs. Not like super great, but a decent group. But your bench, man, like J.K. Dobbins, Christian McCaffrey, just waiting in the wings. That is bullshit, and I'm upset that you have that sort of depth. I'm not happy for you. Chris Godwin is also on your bench. Jesus Christ. So this is one of those situations where I could legitimately see your position players besides quarterback just absolutely carrying you if it wasn't for this next team. And I hate to give him any props. I simply am not there from Bret Easton Ellis's novel American Psycho, Keith the Reaper. And you can decide, if one of those E's needs to get taken out or something, but whatever. This is not safe for work. All right. This son of a bitch. Lamar Jackson and Trey Lance in these scoring settings. Why do you have Trey Lance in every league? Trade him to me, at least in one league, Keith. Come on, man. Austin Eckler, Joe Mixon, Travis Etienne, A.J. Dillon. 4 running backs that are just ridiculous. He's also got Alexander Madison on the bench, so if something happens to Dalvin Cook, he's got a top 15 guy just waiting. That's great. It's just freaking great. Then for wide receiver, they can't be that good, right? No, we've got Cooper Kupp, A.J. Brown, Stephon Diggs. 3 absolute studs and undisputed number ones on their team. Marquise Brown, I really like Hollywood Brown. A lot of people don't, but I just want to freaking he got 145 targets last year, 91 receptions. Dude is like super underrated. I think he's good. He's kind of like the new Brandon Cooks almost. But yeah, so I really like those. Your IDPs are great too. That's cool. We'll see where Bobby Wagner goes. He's 32 years old. Yeah, he'll be 32 at the start of this season. So he's still going to be fine. Here's the problem: not a lot of depth for a man who is the Reaper. You're going to lose at least 6 of these players, your starters, to season-ending injuries, maybe career-ending. So it wouldn't surprise me if that happens. You don't even make the playoffs. But as it stands, if you stay healthy, you ought to run roughshod over this league and just crush everybody. But there you go. There's the power ranking. Sorry, this took way longer than I thought it would. But you can fast forward to your team. That's why I put these little things down there. But anywho, appreciate y'all watching, listening, all that bullshit. This is just something fun for me to do. I really enjoy doing shit like this. So if you have any requests, whatever, give me $40 and I'll make it happen. Other than that, have a happy Saturday, nerds.